What is good, YouTube? My name is George. Welcome back to the second channel. I have been living and working out of this tiny bedroom slash home office in New York City for just over a year now, and I feel like I've hit the perfect combination of cozy vibes plus a functional workspace. I'm really proud of all the hard work that's gone into this room. So I think it's time to do an updated room slash home office tour. Let's get into it. There is a lot of stuff packed into this little bedroom. The way I'm going to organize this video is by taking it one wall at a time. We're going to start with this wall, then go to this wall, then this wall, and then this wall, plus the desk tour. Okay. The first thing you might notice actually when you're looking at this wall is that I love string lights. Christmas lights, white lights, color changing lights, orange lights. Get you some string lights. One of my favorite parts is the dope string lights. There's a ton of string lights. Tons of string lights. Christmas string lights that wrap 3/4 away around the room just to give it some nice cozy vibe. The second I toured this apartment, I immediately wondered what this little window was for. My best theory is that it allows some of the natural light to come into the common area, because in this apartment we have no windows in the living room or the kitchen, only in the bedrooms, and all of the bedrooms have that little window. So that's my best theory. If any of you know what that is for, leave it in the comments. I've got two very important things hanging on the door. One is this full body mirror, very important for making sure I look fresh. And hanging up on the other side is a coat rack, which is always completely full with coats, sweatshirts, hats, the hanging towel, which I really don't like how it looks there, and my trash bag. You know, definitely not the prettiest things in the bedroom, but they are functional. Really stoked I found this cubicle thing at a thrift store. It was pretty cheap, and I store a bunch of my clothes in there, and it adds a much needed surface space. Also in this corner you'll find an art piece by my friend Eric and a very important member of the household, Mr. Snake. Mr. Snake is my very first houseplant that I've ever purchased for myself. I walked into the plant store, I told them I have no idea what I'm doing, and they suggested I get myself a snake plant, and I'm very thankful to say that I have not killed this plant in my year of living here, and he has grown quite a bit. Not only has this plant gotten significantly taller, I mean, this is freaking ridiculous. This is another baby that is just starting to mature. So freaking proud of Mr. Snake. And I use the rest of this surface space for sort of grooming supplies, toiletries, and this is also where I keep my want to read pile of books. Next over on this wall is the closet. So we've got a nice convenient little storage cubby up here. Very grateful for this because to make this bedroom work for me, I need to fill up as much space as possible. So if all of this stuff had to be somewhere else in the room, it would definitely be an issue. I've got this light blue file cabinet at the floor of the closet. I fill this thing with office supplies. Sometimes I also use it as some more surface space. In this corner of the closet, I like to stuff my laundry out of sight. When it comes to laundry, I prefer to just forget about it until I am 100% out of underwear. So I've got stuff hanging up. Usually this space up here is completely full, but since most of my clothing is actually in my laundry bag right now, I've got plenty of space in the closet right now. And you may notice throughout this tour that I've got all these little post-its on the wall and signs and things like that. I'm like constantly working on my productivity system. For a long time I was putting post-its all over the wall. I'm actually kind of phasing out of this system and moving ideas and tasks and things like that into more consolidated notebooks. Just because with post-it notes all over the wall, especially because this is also my bedroom where I need to unwind sometimes, it can be very distracting to have my work literally all over the walls and right in my face. And I think it's actually time to move to this wall. This floating bookshelf right here has been on quite the journey. I think it started on this corner of the room, then I moved it right next to my desk right here, but this very unfortunately prevented my door from opening all the way, and it finally landed here in this corner. I think it's very cool. Obviously it looks like the books are just stacked up in one big stack, but if you take a look to the side, it's really like a spine structure with little shelves. This piece of furniture used to be in this closet. This used to be out here or something, and the book bookshelf. I don't know. It's all really been a work in progress. I have done many relayouts of this bedroom. You can see I've got my little speaker sitting up there right now. This thing gets bumping when I need to vibe out in my bedroom. Some various art pieces and photos. You can see the nice swing of the string lights really gives this wall a cool vibe. Even underneath this little shoe rack, I've got some shipping supplies and extra notebooks. Of course, I've got some shoes stuffed in here. Here I keep a little bin with all my electronics. And of course, this shoe rack provides some very valuable storage space. So I've got a lamp. This one's got a nice vintage colored bulb in it. Here are a few of my bins where I keep more post-it notes which have various tasks and ideas that I want to get back to later. This is actually where I keep my quarters for laundry in New York City. And yeah, a lot more evidence of the fact that I used to have post-its all over the wall. I would put TikTok ideas over here, Instagram ideas over here, Patreon ideas over here, Aeroskako ideas over here. Like I said, I'm kind of phasing out of that just because I think the post-its all over the walls make it difficult to have a work-life separation. And that actually relates nicely to why I wrote "Take a Deep Breath" on the whiteboard. This also used to be filled with things I had to do for work, but I would be sitting in my bed right there with a perfect view of the whiteboard, and it would just like stress me out when I was trying to unwind. So instead I put a nice uplifting message, a way to calm down on that whiteboard. This is also a space I use to write notes of just things I want to keep in mind. Right now I'm trying to do a nightly routine for peace of mind, so I just wrote out the routine right here for easy reference. Last thing to note about the post-it system is this trash can. This is where I discard all of my completed tasks. It's really cool because it provides a physical manifestation of every little thing I've done. Next up on this wall, we've got shelf number 1. This is actually a brand new plant that I just bought a couple of days ago that I'm really excited about. This shelf is really beautifully framed by those string lights. Nice direct sunlight right there, so any plant I put here is sure to thrive. I actually used to have this neon pothos hanging up from right here. As you can see, I had some duct tape around it for reinforcement. He did decide to fall out of the hole, so there's literally just a big hole sitting in my ceiling. The shelf that this guy is sitting on actually used to be right here, so I had this kind of double system going on. But then I found this television sitting out on the street with a sign that said free on it, so I immediately took it and brought it to my room. And it became obvious that the shelf here wasn't really gonna work, so I moved that shelf over there, which creates a really nice mirroring aesthetic actually with this other shelf. And now I have a freaking free TV set up. I had to find a piece of furniture to hold up the TV, and I was very limited in my options because there's literally like 11 inches of space right here. I saw this blue thing pop up on Facebook Marketplace and I was like, I must get it. It's perfect for this little nook. This particular piece of furniture is open under here, so I literally have a whole ass snowboard right there. The downside to this is that I can't really access these shelves in here too easily. Right now I've got some Aeroskako tote bags stuffed in there, so whenever somebody places an order for those, I do have to go digging a little bit to grab one, but it ain't too bad, and the tote bags are out of my way. So yeah, look at this. Can you believe I found this on the street? Gotta love New York City. Next up, we got the wall with my bed. Gotta give a huge shout out to these windows because I get nice direct sunlight, which helps my plants thrive and it helps me thrive. Of course, I've got my bed over up against this wall. Actually, when I first moved in, my bed was this way, which presented a whole different vibe to this room. Originally, I thought I would then put like a cozy chair over there, but this is how it ended up and I am quite happy with it. As you can see, sometimes I've got the pillows against this wall because if I can sort of chill this way, it really opens up this bedroom. These two pipes get burning f***ing hot. They're not going right now, but they send heat up to the upstairs unit, and if these things are on and I touch them, I will burn myself. We've also got the air conditioner on this wall, very helpful in the summer, and a couple of posters. Another key investment for me was this body pillow. I can't push the bed all the way up against the wall, so this kind of mimics the effect. I can get real nice and cozy in this corner. And probably the most unfortunate thing about this bedroom is that this wall actually protrudes outwards this way, but with the bed here, there's literally no option but to cut off that space. That's probably the only dead space in this entire bedroom. I also use under the bed for storage, and this, very unfortunately, is jutting out. This is a big ass bin here. I do have this closet door that I removed sitting on the other side of this bed.
No, no, no.
That's why the bin can't slide all the way in. This closet door originally opened out, so it would have cut off literally all this space that I am using right now. And last but definitely not least, we have the wall where I get the most done, and that is my desk wall. Starting up over here, we've got my neon pothos. That's the second plant I've purchased. Like I said, he used to be hanging over here, and this dude grows aggressively. He loves all the sunlight he gets. This plant will literally bust out new leaves all the time. Like you could see, all these light green little ones are pretty much brand new, and when he was hanging up there, it was going all the way down to here at one point, but I decided to trim him up. These post-it note bins right here are actually out of commission. I'm not really using them, so I should probably put another plant right there, now that I think about it. This is my main YouTube workstation. So I put up all these decorations as a YouTube backdrop, and yeah, so this is the workstation. The main features I would say are the calendar. This thing keeps me on schedule, very important. I put all of my video deadlines and things like that on there. Like I said, I'm working on being less distracted, so sometimes I'll actually flip him around. And as you can see, I wrote, use this side for deep work. I'm reading a book right now, which I highly recommend, called Deep Work by Cal Newport. It's about working in a very focused state in the age of distraction, and it's a new experiment I'm working on because I definitely struggle with opening up social media, interrupting my flow. Check out that book. So I've been editing on this computer for a long time. At some point, I decided to take the leap and invest in a monitor, and I had two motivations for that. One was the extra screen space, which is a phenomenal advantage when editing video, and also for my posture. With the monitor at eye level, and as you can see, I've also got this computer stand, I can actually sit up nice and tall while I'm editing. Other than that, the setup is super straightforward. I've got a wired keyboard and mouse, dirt cheap. I use a Lacy hard drive. I've got this Wacom tablet right here that I use to draw on my thumbnails, and I'll often have notebooks also chilling right here. That's the bulk of the desk setup. It's pretty simple. Down here, and I apologize for the poor lighting, my charging station. I sort of wish that this desk had drawers because I'm not really sure what to do with all this open surface space right here. But for now, I've got this little filing thing that actually perfectly squeezes right onto that shelf, and it's like locked in. So that was a nice coincidence. And at the bottom, I've got my shipping label printer and some miscellaneous storage in the back. That is pretty much the desk setup. I guess I should mention my chair, which is a very fancy ergonomic chair. I also made that investment for my neck and back health because I think I've got a long ways of working on a computer ahead of me in this life. I guess I should mention that I like this fluffy carpet. It's very important for me to lay straight on the ground sometimes. Yo, I can even fit a full-ass yoga session in this room. There's literally enough space right here to lay my whole body flat.
You're going to bring the backs of the hands to the earth.
Not working with much space here, but it gets the job done. The last thing I'll say about this room is that it has really been a work in progress. This room is a culmination of so many furniture runs, arranging things one way and then emptying the room again to arrange things another way. That was a particular challenge when I wanted to reorient my bed, but all that hard work has definitely been worth it. This room has turned into like a physical manifestation of my personality. It's also such a great workspace for me and a cozy home environment, and I don't know how long I'm going to be working and living in this bedroom, but one thing I do know is that I will never ever forget it. This is a very special room. On your way out, please drop a like on this video and make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm actually going to be trying to post a video here on the second channel once a week. We'll see if I can keep up with it, and in the meantime, take it easy. I'll catch you later.